Hello students, this is Lata Narwani from Mount Litra Z School Jhansi. Children, we were doing lesson how do organisms reproduce, and last turn we had discussed sexual reproduction in plants, and we had discussed the various parts of a flower, the male part of the flower androecium and the female part of the flower gynoecium. Today we will be discussing some more topics. So, first topic is pollination. The transfer of pollen grains from anther to stigma of a flower is called pollination. It is very important process because it is the need for fertilization and seed formation. Pollination are of two kinds, self pollination and cross pollination. So, what is the difference between self pollination and cross pollination? Let us see. When the pollen grains from the anther are transferred to the stigma of the same flower, then it is called self pollination. And when the pollen grains from the anther are transferred to the stigma of another flower of the same kind which is on the same tree or other tree of same kind, then it is called cross pollination. Various agents help in transfer of pollen grains which are called pollinating agents like wind, water, insects, animals, birds, etc. Next topic is fertilization and development of the seed. For the egg to be fertilized, the male and the female gametophyte must unite their gametes. This is done by pollination, in which the pollen grains are deposited on the stigma of the carpel. Under suitable conditions, the cytoplasm of the pollen grains absorbs sugar and water from the stigma and bulges out to produce a tube known as pollen tube. This pollen tube grows down through the stigma and style towards the ovary. The ovary has the ovule inside it, which contains the female gamete or the egg cell. So the pollen grains, when they reach the stigma, they absorb the nectar from the stigma and then they bulge out in the form of tube and enter inside the ovule through the style. Now, what happens when the pollen tube reaches the ovary? The pollen tube contains two male gametes. When the tip of the pollen tube reaches the micropyle, it ruptures and discharges these two male gametes into the embryo sac. One of the male gamete fuses with the egg cell to form the zygote. This fusion is called fertilization. Another male gamete fuses with the diploid secondary nucleus and forms the endosperm, which is a food storing tissue. So first reaction is first male gamete with the chromosomes X fuses with the egg cell again with chromosomes X, which are haploid, and forms a zygote which is diploid with the chromosomal number 2X. Second reaction which takes place, the second male gamete with chromosomes number X or haploid fuses with the secondary nucleus which is diploid with 2X chromosomes and forms the endosperm which is triploid or has 3X number of chromosomes. As the fusion takes two times, in this process the fusion of two male gametes separately, one with the egg cell and the other with the secondary nucleus, takes place. This process is called double fertilization. The zygote divides several times and forms an embryo within the ovule. The ovule develops a tough coat and is converted into the seed. The endosperm contains stored food which is utilized by the developing embryo. After fertilization, what are the changes which take place inside the plant? So these are called post fertilization changes. First point, the ovule changes into a seed. Ovary grows and changes into a fruit. The petals, sepals, stamens, etc. shrivel off and fall off. Zygote forms embryo inside the seed. This is the structure of the LS of ovule of fertilization in plants. So here we can see this is the pistil which is having three parts. The top part is called stigma, the narrow part is called style, and the basal swollen part is called ovary. So this is the pistil, the female part of the flower. These are the pollen grains which have entered the stigma after pollination. Now they absorb the nectar and water from here, from the stigma, and burst out in the form of pollen tube, which goes inside the style and passes in the ovary through the micropyle. Now here inside the ovary we can see the embryo sac. Embryo sac which has 8 cells shown here separately. These 8 cells inside the embryo cell are named as such. The 3 cells at the bottom, 2 cells in the middle, and 3 cells at the top of the embryo sac. The 3 cells at the bottom are known as, the middle one is called egg cell or ova, and on the right and left side there is one cell which are called synergids. In the middle there is secondary nucleus with 2x chromosomes. Then on the top side there are 3 cells known as antipodals. Now outside the embryo sac there are 2 or 3 structures, coverings called integuments. These are called integuments. So this is the whole structure showing the pollen tube entering inside through the micropyle inside the ovary. Next is seed germination. An ovule develops into a seed. The seed has the future plant or the embryo which develops into the seedling when the environmental conditions are favorable. This is called germination of seed. In this diagram we can see a gram seed. Here is the gram seed. A micropyle or a small hole is there through which it absorbs water. When it germinates, 2 leaf-like structures called cotyledons are visible, which supply food to the growing embryo. And after some time we can see 2 outgrowths coming out from the middle part of this embryo. The lower part is called radicle, which forms the root, and the upper part is called plumule, which forms the shoot. Now parts of germinating seed. A seed has following parts. First is seed coat. The outer protective covering of the seed is called the seed coat. Second, cotyledons. They are the embryonic leaves that store food for germination of young plant that is not able to make its own food. Third part is plumule, part of the embryo that give rise to shoot system, that is stem and leaves, is called plumule. Fourth part is radicle, the part of embryo that gives rise to roots is called radicle. So children, this is all for today. Thank you.